Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. This is Football Manager 24. The Swans save until FM26. And I'm very happy with the start and the squad and everything else. We've just got through the transfer window, so we're about to get sort of really strolling in the season. Didn't really do too much business. One in, one and a half out. Um, that was kind of not expected to go out, I guess. I guess only one out that wasn't expected. We've been working really hard to try and get everybody out. I still think there's more we could do, and there's still some dead weight to shift in this squad. But what we've done so far, I'm pretty pleased with. So I want to take a look here first at the wage budget, because I feel like maybe it was a modded thing or a skin thing, but I used to be able to see this in the league rules, kind of well, not in the rules, but in here, basically, with the season preview, sponsorship, etc. If you know what skin that was, if it was a skin, then do let me know, because I like to look at this over time. And you can see Leicester just absolutely spending horrific amounts of money. You know, they've just come down from the Premier League. They're former Premier League champions. Southampton, Premier League. Ipswich, Premier League. Middlesbrough ahead of the pack, and then it gets a little tighter between some big boys, but including Birmingham, who just came up from League One, all the way through. You can see then by about the halfway point, we're at about 250,000. And you come down even more, Wrexham 230, they're spending more than us. Not by too much though, 215 for us. We're right in there with Derby, QPR are just behind us, Millwall, those kind of clubs. But Bristol, very local rivals. Wrexham, Welsh rivals. I'm sure Cardiff would be spending more than us as well. So the teams in and around us geographically, as well as in the league, are outspending us. So we've got to be really clever. And I think I've been able to settle on deals that do work and back out of deals where players wanted 30, even 20,000. I've kind of backed out of and kind of kept it below 50. And that was kind of my range to do. Um, but yeah, we're looking okay. The three promoted clubs aren't spending much. You know, a couple of other smaller clubs in and around there. Then Derby, I think, are just having tough times, which is why their wage budget is so low. Then it's us, and like I say, just being outspent by 99% of the league. But one big signing and one big sale. I don't know why the signing isn't there. That was for money. But Eom, he has gone out and yeah, he's got good money behind him. Don't mind that at all. We've still got a couple of loan deals to go, but if we look here then at the history where we left off, the only person we brought in, Bristol City midfielder Joe Williams. I feel he's solid. I feel he's Jay Fulton, but better, cheaper, and a little bit younger. So I kind of wanted him in, especially selling Eom as well. A lot of the youth team, or the reserves really, a lot of them are out on loan. I couldn't really afford to not bring someone in. And he was really, really cheap, like I say, 170k. Um, he's not going to play a ton of minutes, but I think he'll handle himself quite well off the bench. Squad player, decently high wage, but nothing game breaking. And if I'm not counting on him week in, week out, the injury prone doesn't really scare me. But just a cheap deal to bring in. So he was unexpected, same as kind of Walton in that way. And then, yeah, where were we? Were all these done? I don't know. Just a lot of loan deals, like I say. I think the Congreve deal's probably the first one. Yeah, we were working on the Vigoro deal. He does go out. We pay I think 725 a week of his wages. But we do get the 100 grand for Vigoro. And then the new deals, Cameron Congreve for like 500,000 basically out to Birmingham. I think 40% of his next fee or profit from his next fee. So I don't feel he would break into our team. So I quite like that sale. Ollie Cooper out to Genoa. They've already loaned him to Brescia. Okay. Wow, that's a weird one. But okay, yeah, like Ollie going, could have called him up to the first team instead of buying Joe Williams, but again, we're getting 10 times the money for him there. Chance that it goes up a little bit. We did have to pay intermediary fee on that one. Not on Congreve, because who came in for Congreve? Was it Howell? No. Bradford? No. Somebody came in for him, and then Birmingham came in second. So, oh, that's already up to 99. Why is that already up to 9? I don't know. Okay. We don't ask questions that we don't understand. But yeah, so good deals. Andy Fisher out to Deportivo. Can I see? No, I can't see any information about this. But yeah, just again, it's good to get some money. And realistically, 110k to upgrade Fisher to Walton doesn't feel too bad. It's just changing things up. A little bit of a better goalkeeper, but negligible difference, and we're paying a negligible amount of money. And then the Eom signing, yeah, I don't know. I think I thought we paid an agent for that one. I'm pretty sure we've paid an agent, an intermediary for Eom as well, but it doesn't pop up there. So yeah, just a few little things. 170k in with Joe Williams, Fisher for 240, Cooper for 1.3 eventually, a little over 500,000 for Congreve, and the 110 for Vigouroux. And then the big money is 1875 for Eom. No idea why, but at the time I sold him, I think his valuation was somewhere like 42 to 49 million range, which is absolutely crazy. So I pulled the trigger. I offered him out. I upset him. I did absolutely everything I could to get that man out of the club, to get the money into the club. As you see, Joe just comes in as an option. Not really a big long term, but like Santos, like Hanley, just a comfortable backup for right now. So we don't really change too much. I have got rid of the Rangers, but people were in for Cabango and Sheffield United. I think because Cullen was so low, like, yeah, his price was like 850, 950k, something like that. So Sheffield United were really interesting to him, and they were really interested in that valuation of him. So I've boosted their valuation slightly, and a couple of other players as well. And we just kind of have um, got through the window without losing them. And I think realistically, they were the two players I was pretty non-negotiable about selling. The two homegrown, the new captain, the new vice captain. There's new deals for them. There'll be new deals for the end of the season. I want to get long-term deals of good money and just bump both their values way up. So, basically someone's going to pay 20, 30 million for them, which is way above what they're probably worth. And at that point, I'm willing to sell, right? So, yeah, I feel pretty good all in all. Like I say, the money is really good. We basically gained 20 million, which is just the Ollie Cooper and the Eom sales, really. Everything else has kind of been net zero, to be fair. The board haven't wanted to do anything for us. I'm going to ask again. Training, junior coaching. youth recruitment. They're going to tell me, no, I've only been here a certain amount of time, but we'll definitely start focusing on those moving forward, as well as trying to get a merchandise club in. So, not a ton to update on. Um, this game annoyed me. I'm going to start here in the cup game. We are out of the cup, but we 3 shots on target. They didn't have a single shot on target. Away from home, we did really well. It was a bit of a battle, really. But we were the only team that looked like winning it. Walton was absolutely fantastic, and it goes to a penalty shootout, and suddenly we're just terrible. Um, so yeah, knocked out by Norwich in the Carabao Cup first round. Don't mind, because that means the league is on for us. We would be 100% if we would have won against Middlesbrough, but our former player Morgan Whittaker, of course, comes back and haunts us and gets his opening goal for Middlesbrough in the 91st minute. Again, I'm not going to say against the runner play because it wasn't, but we were the slightly better team. We didn't look like scoring or creating much. We were in control of the game. But 91st minute goal for Whittaker kind of is brutal, but it's expected. We beat Derby at home, which we should. Former player Rian Brewster scoring against us. We beat Wrexham with a nice couple of goals early on there. Millwall, we absolutely smashed after they went down to 10 men, as you'd expect. And a really tight game against West Brom. Again, I would have expected to be tight. Walter not playing that well. Hanley struggling in his first appearance too. And yeah, an early goal. They get one back. Just before half time, we go up. Right at the death, Daryl Dike, you're thinking, oh no, drop points, or even worse, we might go on to lose this. And then immediately we get a penalty, and Liam Cullen's able to get that winner for us. I do feel we were the better team in all these matches. We're yet to play a top team. We will play Norwich again. If we have a similar performance here, then I expect a draw or a win. Coventry aren't great. Hull aren't great. Charlton aren't great. Oxford aren't great. Sheffield away could be interesting, but I think we're a decent match for them. Portsmouth and Stoke as well at home should be okay. But it takes us all the way through until October, and then it's Southampton away. They're currently leading the league. A tricky rivalry game, really, against Bristol City. And then a couple of away trips that are kind of potential banana skins. And we hit Leicester away just before Christmas, Ipswich at home right after. So, yeah, Christmas might not be the happiest time of year. That also means you look at the back end of the schedule, away to Birmingham, who might be doing something this season, away to Ipswich, home to Leicester inside our last four. The home game against Middlesbrough will also be really tough. A trip up to Wrexham, that ain't going to be fun. April and May, potentially not a lot of fun to be had. Blackburn at home, definitely potentially the easiest game out of the final six. So if we're going to finish poorly, we need to make sure we take advantage of a good start, and we have. We absolutely have, and we are out of the EFL, the League Cup, so I don't mind that at all. FA Cup, who knows? Maybe we're going to run, maybe we don't. But we do look okay. Southampton, Middlesbrough, us, Norwich, Stoke, Leicester. Ipswich, couple of draws early on, probably the big sort of struggle, but then right in behind them, Birmingham and Wrexham and Bristol City. Couple of promoted clubs, couple of rival clubs, and most the expected top seven, or all the expected top seven really, are filling out the top eight with us in there. So, yeah, it's going to be a slog. Great start to the season. Fixture list kind to us. And out of the cup pretty harshly, but, it's probably a net positive. So, yeah. Yeah, if we can get through this game, I'm going to feel pretty good In fact, all our home games I feel pretty good. Norwich, Coventry, Sheffield United away, a bit more tricky. Oxford away, who knows, but we probably should get a result there. And then it's Southampton away there. But if we can, you know, get another 6 wins out of these 8, I'd be delighted. 5 wins and a draw, I'd be very happy with out of these 8. So, yeah, just win the 4 home games, really, and then a couple of draws might be okay too. 14 points from 8 games. It's not too shabby. It would keep us in playoff contention, which is kind of where we're aiming. Really is, you know. I think we were just outside the playoffs in terms of the predictions. I told the squad that we could aim for a top half finish, and they were fairly happy with that. They wanted a little bit more, but they were fairly happy with that. I'm aiming kind of for playoffs. I think we've had a good transfer window to back that up. And we still have one spot and money to spend when January comes around. Even if they're non-EU, we've still got a 4th ESC work permit place to actually bring in someone. And it might be up front. Cullen's actually started quite well. 4 goals in 5 games. Apart from that, though, there ain't too much happening up top. At the back, we're fairly solid. We just need Walton to be more consistent, I think. And, you know, we haven't had more than one person on the back line play poorly per game. Midfield, little hit and miss, but again, we are retraining people into different positions, different roles. So that will take time. We do have ourselves all set up. Penalty takers, Vopotnik, Cullen, John Jules, Ronald, and then Stamenic as our penalty takers. Captains, Cullen, Cabango, and then we got Grant Hanley, who'll be a very good option. Vidal, quite good. Santos, Devine, and Burgess. So I feel pretty good about our options there too. So like I say, we're through the transfer window. We're through the rebuilding. 2 new goalkeepers, a new centre back, a new left back, a new right back, but both backups. So, you know, starting goalie, starting centre back, backup goalie, backup left back, backup right back, starting midfielder, and 3 now backup midfielders, and a backup striker. It's not a ton of additions. It sounds like a lot, but that's how threadbare the squad was, really. It's a starting defensive midfielder, starting centre back, and a starting goalkeeper, which is kind of all that was needed, really. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about it. The ratings are definitely decreasing throughout the team, which is interesting. But I don't know. I think we'll do okay. And I do think there could be something big this season. So we'll have to see kind of how it all plays out. But early signs are positive. So I've asked the assistant to pick the lineup for this game. I don't mind. He's dropped Hanley for Burgess. Kind of expect that. That's fine. Vidal is playing, which, again, is probably the right call. Yeah, it's probably the right call since Stamenic is out right now. I don't really disagree with any of the choices. I think it gives us good cover in every position, and if this is what he wants to play, then I'm happy to go with it. I've been playing on cautious because I think a lot of teams are going to struggle to break us down with kind of the defensive midfielder, a little half-back on defend. I think that's going to do quite well at stopping counter-attacks, which allows the fullbacks to maraud a little bit and the Mitzalas to branch out deep into the corners. And so I don't think we're as vulnerable to the counter, and we can kind of just smash it back up the field where we've got extra bodies. I think it works okay. So playing on cautious and kind of being a little counter-attacky without really playing counter, I think really does suit our formation, our key people, the roles we're using, and the way teams are probably going to play against us. So we are going to come unstuck. If we play this against the wrong team away from home, which today could be one of those, we could get absolutely battered. But hopefully we recognize that quickly enough and are able to kind of adjust around it to get through in good style. So that's Villa. That's Norwich's lineup. Kovacevic, Stacey, Duffy, Medic, Cordoba, Gibbs, McLean, Jurasek, Schwarto, Springett, and Kvistgarden. They have changed a bunch from their last game. Walton, Key, Cabango, Burgess, Timon, Tower in front of them, Galbraith, Franco, Vidal as a 3, Vipotnik, and captain Liam Cullen up top, our top goal scorer. I like our bench. Their bench isn't bad. I like our lineup. Their lineup isn't bad. This is going to be a real tough match for us away from home. But again, I do think we can get it done. So a little bit of a team talk. This is how they're going to line up. They didn't play this formation last week. They are chopping and changing personnel and formation. We're sticking to what we know and what we like. And I feel that's going to pay off for us in the long term, even if not today. But third, away to fourth, a top of the table clash. This is not one we're expecting to win, not one we really need to get anything from, but it would be an absolute fantastic bonus if we could. Time on to Burgess. Time on to Tower. Franco. Oh, he's found Liam Cullen. The top goal scorer is through on his left foot into the bottom corner. 3 minutes in, and we'd work that down the left-hand side. And Liam Cullen strikes again. Beautiful work. Tower being my key man there, that pivot, the ball-playing pivot. And Franco with a beautiful ball. Cullen takes a touch, and he's worked inside on his left foot. We do ask our strikers to go a little wider and find those channels, and he does slot it home. We're already on cautious. We shouldn't be pushing too far forward and inviting them on us. So we might be able to keep a little bit of control and soak a little bit of pressure with them coming forward. We will see. They do have a throw-in. This could all change really quickly. Oh, and right there, they almost do. Gibbs just hurls it at the goal. Franco gets in the way. I think it came off the post initially, though, and then worked back inside for a shot. Gibbs to the near post. Franco again in the mix. Jurasek snatched at that one. Norwich having a bit of a purple patch, but that initial goal from Cullen really setting the cats among the pigeon, and the longer this stays 1-0, you've got to feel the less likely the Norwich players are going to feel comfortable and happy with how they're playing. 1 shot on target from 8. They are wasting some decent chances. Just need the back line to be switched on. Goalkeeper to pay attention. They got a second shot there. Duffy injured. Looks like Medic has come on for him. But yeah, that early goal is setting us up nicely. And I think we need to set up a little more. Walton was unhappy. We've rescued that, which is nice. And we've got some good morale. So I don't think we've worked very hard so far. We definitely haven't had possession. We haven't looked like we could. I think it's all coming to the point now where we're set up for a second half of control. depending really on how Norwich come out and play. And if they can get the early sort of pressure on us, maybe an early goal, they do get booked through Jurasek, so that sort of advanced press from them might be a bit more of an issue. It does look like Potnick's struggling, but Josh Timon in the corner, in swinging left foot. Schwartu does get it clear. Cullen, Vidal, Ethan Galbraith, his second of the season. The smash and grab continues. Oh my god, a little bit of tennis there. Bouncing ball. And it falls to Galbraith. Timon cleared. Burgess knocks it down. Cullen, Stacey, maybe off a hand there. Galbraith is wow, that's deflected in as well. But 2-0 up. And this is the way we've been playing all season. Away from home. We just control the game without having anything. Zapotnik off. Let's get Ronald on for a bit of pace up top. Yeah, Melka is a little tired. We want a bit more in that midfield. I think this is a perfect little debut for Joe Williams. Definitely more of a defensive midfielder, right? So we'll put Franco as the Missala and have Joe sitting in that centre midfield doing a bit more work. Back four's not that tired. Timon and Tower not really playing great, but I don't mind that at all. I think those are going to be my couple of subs for right now. We'll do some more in 5 or 10 minutes time and just try and see this one out. Don't give Norwich too much to come back into it. Well, they do have a corner. It is cleared for now. Forson. Solid player. Does get them back in it. And that's not what we wanted. But yeah, it's... I was about to do changes. You can see I was about to do changes. Didn't want to do it during a highlight. So Hanley, Martinez, and Gonzalez all coming on. Galbraith. I think I need to get the defenders off Galbraith, but Abreu would be the next one to do just because of how tired he is. But I think this is just what we're going to have to do. They do work it down the side. Forson does get into a good position. Josh Key, I think, a little bit lazy here. Stands off, lets the man get to the byline. And then the defense just ignores Chris Varden for some reason. And he does get that goal back. Williams, Galbraith, Ronald, Cullen, Braze, Martinez. If only we could have got that through ball that looked on. That would have been great. Franco. Oh, Williams. Joe Williams almost just had a debut to absolutely dream of there. That would have been absolutely amazing. They are going to come inside. Find Jurasek. This could be our worst nightmares coming. Forson again. Key's got to get tighter. He doesn't. Quistgarden absolutely just flies in again. Forson and Quistgarden. All our good work undone. Simply because Josh Key's not picking up his man that he's been told to mark super tightly. And he ain't. We're going to go for it though, Braze. Getting that ball up there. Oh. Is it all going to come crashing down? They're going to go back out wide again, exploit that narrow formation. That's just poor from us. That's poor. Chasing the ball far too much. Yeah. And they're going to give a third goal away. Just absolutely terrible defending. We go from being great to just giving them something for free there. I don't really get why. I don't really get why we've done that. Come on. No, come on. Let me adjust my formation. Yeah, how to throw 3 points away. The same combination all three times. Josh Key just ignores Forson so much, and he's out of position again. He steps up when we're not playing an offside trap. And there's deeper people than him. Like, there's no reason for Josh Key to be doing that. And he absolutely has fumbled this 2-0 all the way back to 3-2. Bryce gets his first goal from left back. We're snatching a point from defeat when we should have taken all three here. Key kind of involved, but it's really disappointing so far. It could be bad again here, and it is going to be. It's going to be top. What a game this is. Like I say, if we get the mentality wrong away from home, we're in trouble. But I don't think I got the mentality wrong. We were 2-0 up. We were cruising, forcing a Kvistgarden 3 times in a row because Josh Key didn't do his job. Gets away with the 7.3 because he gets an assist. But my God, that is an absolute shambles of a result. But I came in expecting a loss. We get a loss. It just sucks that we were up 2-0 and handed them the victory out of nowhere. Handed them a victory. And I can't even shout at Josh Key, despite the fact that all he had to do was mark Forson tightly. That's it. And he didn't. That's FM. That's FM. Yeah, not what you want. Not what you want. Yeah, I'm so mad. I'm so mad at that. I'm so mad at that. It's the first time that's happened, but just... He's only got 11 for marking, 12 for positioning, sure, but like he's got the pace and acceleration to stick with a man, even a quick man. High work rate. He just slacked off. He spent the last 15 minutes not really wanting to track his man, and we got killed. And I didn't have the personnel to replace him. I didn't really have the personnel to change the way we were playing. I shouldn't have had to. I could have tried something, but I think at that point when the second goal goes in, it's kind of pointless. We had to go and attack. But we come away with nothing. And once again, a game that we're fully in control of at 2-0, we just lose to Norwich away from home. Penalties in the cup when we should have won. And that game that we were just very efficient, but we were 2-0 up away from home and throw it away. It's, oh, we are going to get the youth improvement. Okay. I didn't expect that. And the junior coaching. I mean, that's a bonus. That's a bonus. Those are the two for youth intakes I really wanted. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, it's, that was a rough match. That was a rough match. I wasn't at my best for sure, but I'm putting most of the blame on Key because that should not happen. That should not happen. That quickly, back to back to back to back, just left wing, 2 striker, just, yeah. That should not be 3 goals in a 15-minute window at all. Especially not the third. The third was just terrible. Why is he stepping out like that? Oh, it's going to sit with me. It's going to sit with me. It's going to sit with me. Yeah. There's some good news. There's some good news. Deal done. Liam Cullen, 5-year deal. Very happy to have that one taken care of. And Banker Bango at the same time. New deals in place for our captain, our vice captain. So, yeah, kind of got to put that last match behind us and just focus on the future. So, yeah, not really the match I wanted to showcase, but I think you got an idea of how we play, but also how switched on I need to be in these matches to handle the mentality battle, because that's all it is. I think what I didn't realize, I thought Norwich, when they went 2-0 down, would go a lot more attacking. I think they actually either went to balanced or defensive and countered us, which is the exact right thing to do. Like that's going to decimate us 10 times out of 10, because you can get the ball down the flanks really, really quickly. And if those fullbacks are pushed up at all, there's so much room in behind if you've got a decent winger. I thought they'd go attack, they went defense. What I really should have done is probably have gone to attack or positive to control the game. I didn't. I could have changed formation, but I don't want to. This formation really does work. It'll literally, if teams defend and counter us, or if they play a 5 at the back and their wing backs and wingers push really high up on the wings. That's kind of the way we lose. So I think I misread that, but again, it still shouldn't have happened. Abject performance, and Josh Key just gets an assist at the end, which boosts his rating. But yeah, I'm pretty upset by how that match went. I do hold my own share of that, though. I do. But yeah, kind of a bad loss. But again, Middlesbrough, a late comeback to beat us. Norwich, a very late comeback to beat us. Going into the final 10 minutes, 2-0 up. And then they take the lead. We manage to pull it back by being brave. And then 94th minute there, 91st minute against Middlesbrough. Away from home against two promotion challenging sides, at the very least, I would say playoff teams. I'll take the odd goal loss. And beating the teams that we're supposed to, especially at home, and a nice result at West Brom. I think I will take the start. It just could have been so much more. And I don't know if we're going to end up ruining that at the end of the season. But so far, not. We just switched with Norwich. That's absolutely fine. They are unbeaten. They've just shown why. Middlesbrough are unbeaten. And Southampton, as we know, were just phenomenal. Leicester, not as good as I thought they'd be. Ipswich, not as good as I thought they'd be. I'm sure they're going to come good and leapfrog us as well. And that would put us roughly in 6th place, which would be the last playoff spot. So it's all really depending on, can we hold off a challenge from Birmingham, Bristol, Stoke, Sheffield United, Coventry, Wrexham, and anyone else from deep is going to make a run mid to end the season. That's kind of the question. We've got this little battle with 6 or 8 clubs. And to be honest with you, the 5 above us don't really enter contention for me. Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester, Middlesbrough, Norwich. Those are the biggest 5 in the league. Those are the 5 I don't expect to beat. If they finish above me, that's fine. I've still got my 6th place to fight for. If we can outdo them over the course of the season, great. We finish even higher. But that's kind of how I'm approaching season 1. And like I say, I think it's taking us roughly where we want to go. And the only 2 losses, like I say, 91st minute, 1-0 away to Middlesbrough, and then a 4-3 in the 94th minute away to Norwich. Two teams that are above us and should stay above us. I'm convincing myself as much as explaining to you guys. I don't know if you caught that, but that's the way my brain works. This is my stream of consciousness. I think about the game a certain way. I talk about it a certain way. I try and teach it a certain way. But yeah, it's a fitness and morale management game. The tactic is solid. The players are good enough. They're not great by any means. Some of them are just probably not even good enough to win the championship. But they're good enough for the tactic I'm playing. I know it's about keeping us fit, keeping morale high, and winning that mentality battle within the games. So, yeah. Let me know what you think of that start. Is it as good as I think? Is it overblown because of who we've played? And those 3 home matches aren't impressive. And West Brom are kind of struggling as well down the bottom half. The 4 teams I've beaten are nobodies. The 3 I've lost are the only 3 good teams we played. One of them we played twice. Like, let me know what your thoughts and feelings on it are. If you agree, disagree, where you still think we need to improve the squad. And, yeah, is there anybody in this squad that you really don't think is good enough to be here now or in the future? Where would you sell? Where would you cash in? Especially with the values. I think Galbraith's probably the tempting one, right? At 20 million again. If he has a half decent season coming into January, we might have bids. Cullen scoring goals. Even with a brand new 5-year deal, 15 grand a week, the valuation's barely above 3 million. So are we gonna have to try and hold him in and like not let clubs come for him? I don't know how that's gonna play out, but yeah. Let me know, comment section down below. Like and subscribe if you already haven't. Check out the other playlists available on the channel. And I'll see you soon for another live com. A progress update probably around January, so I'd estimate, depending who we get in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, we might come to that one. It looks like that's going to clash with Oxford. I was going to say Oxford because it'd be a nice game to see, but a home game. But that's probably going to get shifted because of the FA Cup, right? So depending who we've got here, we might see the FA Cup game. Might be Sheffield United at home, or even coming into the transfer window, it might be someone like an Ipswich or Birmingham. We do the live com, and then I jump forward to the transfer window itself after outlining kind of what I'm looking at or what I'm worried at. You know, some interest we've had for different players, and then we'll go through the transfer window. So that'll be the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, all the very best to you. And as I say, feedback super important. But I'll see you soon as this journey continues. Be a part of it.